I hope you got your pumptinis ready because we have a Vanderpump Rules divorce update. We've also got a Chrisley update as Julie Chrisley was taken to court, but she was sent right back to prison. We have a return of MomTok. It seems that they have survived all of the drama that has unfolded with season 1 of Hulu's Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We have a lot that we're going to be getting into today, and I've got a very special guest. So I hope you're ready. Get your pumptini ready, or what's a little too early for a pumptini. Maybe got some coffee. Get it. I hope it's piping hot like today's tea. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. And dive in we shall. We have so much to break down today, and I've got a very special guest that has her pulse on all things pop culture. I'm going to probably be culturing her a bit more on some reality TV tea as our worlds are colliding. Please welcome from Spill Sesh, the one and only Kristi Cook.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I definitely need like a teeny bit of something this morning, but I'm very excited with everything we're going to dive into.
Yes, I had my Beam Super Latte this morning. So I had all the adaptogens and the functional mushrooms. And so I'm like, okay.
Oh, you're ready to go.
Yes. What's your normal? Are you just a coffee person or do you
I like a espresso, throw a little creamer in there. That's my jam. A matcha too, but that's getting too fancy with it.
Going a little Kourtney Kardashian with the matcha.
Yeah.
Are you a Kardashian fan?
I am. I watch the show. I love it. I live for it. I love like recapping the shows, and I'm fully invested whether or not, I don't know. It's like I feel like it's like 50-50 on whether or not people like the Kardashians, and I like the drama of it all.
Yeah, same. I love the Kardashians. I mean, I know people love to drag them for every little thing, but
Yeah.
no, I'm thoroughly a fan. I love the new Hulu show where they're rolling up in the fancy cars
Yes.
and have the drone cameras floating everywhere.
The show's like elevated to another level now that I'm just like, okay, my TV has like a Kardashians channel that just like automatically plays like all the old episodes, and whenever I turn it on, I'm like, I cannot believe this is them.
Right?
Like,
I mean,
going back to the old episodes, like they just don't compare.
no, I mean, just the way that they're shot now, even the confessionals. I mean, like
Yeah.
they've had a true glow up. Are you a fan of Lemmy?
Well, I know Lemmy's in a little bit of some trouble.
Yeah.
I haven't really ever tried Lemmy. I did get like from like some free samples before, but I'm like, yeah, what's two really doing for me other than telling me that it tastes like candy?
Yeah.
But I went to an event the other day and they gave us the Lemmy lollipops. I haven't tried them, but it literally says like it'll make you beautiful. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, this is not real.
I tried the Lemmy, I think it was the Lemmy Focus gummies, and
Okay.
I liked them. I enjoyed that. I mean, I think, like any like vitamins or supplements, you have to like take it consistently for like a certain period of time to start to see results. I'm like a fan of Lemmy, but I did see the lawsuits there's like a new lawsuit against Kourtney and some of the products because they're claiming like there's false advertisement.
Yeah. I did hear that Lemmy Sleep like actually works though, and everyone's like, that's because there's melatonin in it. And I'm like, okay, well, at least it's working. It's like the one that's not getting flagged.
Lemmy Sleep and Lemmy Focus. I think the ones that were getting flagged, or it was Lemmy Matcha.
Yeah.
Because the complaint was that
Which I tried that one. That was the sample I got. It tasted so good.
Right? But like I was reading the claims because I'm like, okay, when there's a celebrity lawsuit, like I never like to just read the headlines. I'm like, I want to actually go through the court documents and play Elle Woods and try to understand it. And from what I read about the claims, I was like, some of these claims are a little weak. Like they're saying, oh, Lemmy Matcha just doesn't have a ton of matcha extract in it. And it's like, okay, they're like, you're going to need a lot more than 2 gummies in order to really feel like the effects of a glass of matcha. And I'm like, okay, so they're a little weak, but they're not like, like, what do you expect from a gummy vitamin,
I know. I'm like, if you want the real stuff, you got to drink the matcha. But I guess, they're coming for her.
They also have the new, I don't know, Lemmy something, but it's like their version of trying to boost your
Oh, yeah, the
GLP-1.
GLP-1. I was shocked. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, okay, Courtney, I see we're going there." Seems a little controversial just
Right?
because, like, on the show, I feel like they're doing is, like, deny Ozempic, deny, 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 and then she's gonna come out with, like, an adjacent is, like, product. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
it's
well."
the natural version of the GLP-1s. It
Yeah, like,
successfully
what?
boosts your GLP-1s.
I found it so strange. I couldn't believe that. I was like, "So is she gonna be, like, popping it in the ad or, like, is she claiming that she's on that?"
I know, it's crazy. Have you heard the rumors about the Kardashians having some money troubles?
Some money troubles?
Yeah, like,
What is this?
there were, like, rumors on Reddit, and then I was watching, like, these YouTube psychics. I went on, like, a deep dive, and the
What?
YouTube
I was
psychics
hearing
were
this about J.Lo yesterday, not about the Kardashians.
yeah, apparently there's, like, a big scandal that's supposed to be coming, and that's why they're all
Oh,
kind of
no.
laying low right now. That's why we're not, like, seeing them overexposed, or we're not seeing them in
Mm.
big, headlines. Is because 'cause they're kind of laying low because there's a big, like, financial scandal that's gonna be breaking soon.
Oh, no. Well, Reddit is on it. They have the tea. Honestly, like, most of the
Always.
time, they've got it. They could be, like, a little scary and nasty, but most of the time, I'm like, "Damn, like, they were right."
They are total, like, detectives. I saw, this week somebody got access to Jax Taylor's divorce papers and then published
I
them on
was just
Reddit,
reading about this. I was
and
like, "Oh my god."
which is kinda crazy. So, Brittany filed a few months ago. I think it was actually back in, like, January that she filed for divorce from Jax. They were filming the new season of The Valley, and now we have his response that he's filed in court, and we've learned from these leaked court documents that he's, 1, representing himself in this
Yeah.
divorce, and 2, that he has agreed to give her full physical and legal custody of their son, Cruz.
It's insane. And then but I'm reading, like, this morning that they're saying he filled out the papers wrong. I'm like, "What is this? What
That was
is"
that was my theory. I'm like, if he's representing himself, like, does he realize he basically just gave Brittany full custody? And not only full custody, but then that
Yeah.
means that he's also gonna have to pay a ton more in child support because they don't have, like, 50-50 custody.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's full.
so I was just like, I'm very confused about this, but I think Jax is also confused. It was kind of like Tom Sandoval when he accidentally
Definitely.
sued Ariana, and I was like, guys, we need to get like actually understand what we're doing in court because like it's kind of
Yeah.
important.
But it seems like they're taking the angle of he filled it out wrong, you guys. He didn't know what he was doing. 'Cause they said he put that they weren't legally married and that they were legally married all in the same box. So it's like, how are we
Yeah,
doing
and
this ourselves?
we should not be doing this. Even if you
No.
do like a legal Zoom version, I don't know if they
Yeah.
have like legal Zoom for
Legal
divorce
Zoom
filing.
divorce.
At least let's do that. Like
Yeah.
we should not be filling this out. But I saw Brittany responded to his because I guess he, like you said, he in the documents wrote that they weren't legally married, and she commented on someone's Instagram post saying, "We are legally married. I'm
Yeah.
guessing filling out paperwork is hard for some people."
It very
She's
clearly
done
is. 100%.
which
I
is
would be too.
why
I'd
we
be like, "You're embarrassing me even more, and we're trying to do this."
which again is the reason we should not be filling out our own divorce papers or child custody papers. Like,
Yes.
this is what we need professionals for.
I'm not understanding that. Like, clearly he has the access to, like, get someone to help him. So, like, what was the urgency that he's like, "I need to do this today, right now."
By my like, I think how, like, sometimes you take, like, a Lemmy Focus gummy and you're just like, "I got this." You're like, "You know what?" You feel like you're like, "I can do this. I can go
Oh
to
my
law school."
god. This
You
is
know?
being added to the lawsuit.
Yeah. Jax is gonna be in the claim. And you just feel like, "You know what? I can do this myself. Like, why even waste hiring an attorney? I'm just gonna fill up my court documents and file it all myself."
No.
I mean,
Absolutely not.
if Brittany's able, I mean, I believe she is the primary caretaker for Cruz right now. So if she's able to provide for Cruz, she's paying for her own rental house at the moment. If she's able to provide for herself and hire an attorney, I feel like Jax should be able to as well.
100%. It sounds like he has way more time. So it's like, we should be able to.
I'm hoping we have this divorce settled soon or like resolved soon. Because like I don't need to see this play out for like 3 more seasons on The Valley.
Absolutely not. No.
But we do have another couple update, and that's Kristen Cavallari and Mark Estes. So Mark Estes was her 24-year-old TikTok boyfriend. She's, I believe, 36, 37.
37, yeah, I think.
He's 24. They were together for 7 months, just announced their breakup this week. He's now responded because she did a podcast episode basically saying like she has now realized after 7 months of dating that he's too young and that he needs to live a little more life before he can settle down. And he thinks he's ready to settle down, but she thinks your 20s are your formative years, and she made the decision for him that he's not ready to settle down. Did you ever think that this relationship would go the distance considering the big age gap?
I'm shocked it lasted for 7 months. I thought it was just like a fun little fling maybe she was getting herself into, and that it was just gonna maybe end for like 3 months or so. So I'm surprised it lasted this long, but I I can't believe that this is like how it's all kind of unfolding, especially because she went on stage at Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy show and was basically announcing the breakup there, which I found so shocking. And I honestly thought that he broke up with her because she went out on stage and it seemed like this whole like he had broken up with her backstage or something and she needed to come out and vent about it. So then for her to say she broke up with him, I was like, oh, interesting. Like what?
Yeah, I didn't understand. Like, I mean, I guess I never really thought it was going to go the distance. I just thought it was funny that like him and all of the Montana boys, and I'm not too familiar with the Montana boys, but like I just thought it was funny that they were doing all of these like red carpet interviews, and they're just like, yeah, they're so in love, and they're gonna settle down, and they're gonna have kids soon. And I was like, y'all are 24, and you're already wanting to settle down with Chris, who has 3 kids of her own.
3 kids. And they did that podcast episode together like not too long ago where they were talking about this. Yeah, they were talking about the future and the things that they want. And he was saying the things of like marriage, kids, those are the goals. But and then I'm like seeing her, I'm like, there's no way she wants to go back to like 0 and have a baby. Like, I don't know.
I think that's probably what it is she's not ready to go back, and he's ready to get started. I don't think she is ready for another kid. Like her kids are still at that age where they're young enough, but they're getting older. They're going to be going to high school and middle school, you know, that age is going to be coming up soon. She just went through a divorce. Like she's not ready to settle down. And I think he's too young to even settle down. I don't think he knows what that means yet.
I totally agree. The timing of it all was so wild, and the delivery was also crazy.
It was. I mean, they were just so public with it too. That I was like,
it's like they were defending the age gap for a while, it felt. And then now it's like, well, that was the problem all along. We're like,
I just thought it was crazy that they did that podcast together, and they're just like,
I know.
We're going to talk about our life in the bedroom, and we're going to talk about our ask us anything. And then the next day is like, she had to like made that decision right after that podcast.
100%. Like while they were recording it, she's like, oh no.
Light bulbs are starting to go off. Like,
which sucks because the age gap was weird, but it does suck because she's saying he's the best boyfriend she's ever had. There were no issues. There were no problems. Like, it's just like this age that is the problem. So I'm like, girl, I feel for you, but you got yourself into that mess.
She's a fuckboy. She led him on. She totally led him on and was like, yes, you're so mature. But it was also so awkward in that podcast episode because I remember listening to it when it came out, and she somehow, I think one of the questions was, is Kristen, because she's older and more experienced, is she the best sex that you've ever had? And he was like, totally.
Oh my
And then,
God.
and then he was
This
like,
question sent me.
and then he was like, am I the best that you've ever had? And she was like,
It really killed
yeah.
me. It was like, what's she gonna say? No? I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, he's just starting life. Like,
she kind of basically said like, yeah, for a 24-year-old, which was
yeah,
and I was like, see, this is where we're not really, matching up here, guys.
not at all.
But
Ugh.
they were committed to the plot for the longest time.
They were. And I don't know. Props to them. I guess for going as long as they did and like having this little fantasy.
Yeah, they did not go the distance. But you know who is going the distance right now is MomTok. MomTok has
MomTok.
survived a potential cancellation because Hulu just announced season 2 is going into production, I believe, within the next week. Did you
I
get
can't wait.
onto the Mormon Wives trend?
I did. I absolutely did. I watched all those episodes when they dropped. I was so invested. Made this long, like 20-minute video talking about MomTok. I mean, I was in there.
Were you around for the swinging scandal?
Yeah, when it like first started going down, I was like, wait a minute, like what's going on? Because I'm on this like part of TikTok, my For You page is showing me like the swig drinks. I'm
Yeah.
seeing some mommy content sometimes. I'm like, I don't have any kids, but somehow this lands on my For You page. And and then I'm hearing about swinging. I'm like, well, wait a minute, because that's the last thing that is connected with the word Mormon. So
Right.
what's going on here? I was
Yeah,
sucked in.
I was too. What do you think of Whitney's husband? Everybody's thinking that he wasn't really on Tinder. He was
No.
secretly on Grindr.
No.
And, everyone's like, he's serving more looks than any of the girls on the show.
He kind of was though.
He was. His hair was
I
different. You
mean,
could tell he
is
got like
the
a hair transplant
hair
through it. Like it was
yeah, I
strange.
found it very very not Tinder. I was just like, I think I'm going with the sleuths on this one because there's just no way I'm not buying it at
I don't
all.
that he was just on Tinder and he was just there because
Yeah.
he was chatting because he has a corn on the cob addiction.
When she was admitting all of this, I was just like, girl, we cannot be judging anybody else. Your husband
Right?
is like the worst, in my opinion. I'm like, this is so embarrassing to be admitting on television and then also try to put on this front that like you're better than everyone. I think that was also the thing. If she leaned into it a little more of like, my life is a shit show.
Yeah.
Everyone would have been like, yeah, girl, but it's okay.
Yeah, I think her strategy with that was like, let me lead by giving them some story and
Yeah.
hoping that that'll be enough to like, suffice the situation. But it just did all it did was like make it more confusing because it's like this was such a big scandal that it rocked your marriage to the point where you had to move to Hawaii. But like it's just because he was chatting with people on Tinder.
I'm like, what was changing the location gonna do? Because now he's gonna be chatting with men in Speedos.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
I can't even it was so Whitney had a journey this season.
she did. And then she didn't really seem to like the edit because after she was posting on TikTok, kind of just saying, what was that? I don't remember any of that. I'm like, well.
Do you think she'll be back for season 2? Because season 1 ends with her moving away
Yeah.
again.
They're claiming that she's going to be in it, which I mean, surprised and not surprised about. I felt like maybe they were going to tease a little more, but TMZ said that she was going to be in it. And I mean, she's giving the energy that she wants nothing to do with it. But I'm like, how could you not? Like, it's a Hulu show. I know you want to be a part of it, girl.
Nobody does a reality show because they don't want the fame that comes with it.
Yeah, and shares all that information about their husband. Yeah. Like, she wanted to be a main character. She's like, I'll give you guys the story.
Yeah, and I think she intentionally wanted to be a villain. Like, I think she knew what she was doing by distancing herself from the other girl. She knew what she was doing with the Fruity Pebbles gift. Like, she was in on it.
But I think she would deny, like, never admit, but 100%, I think she just wanted to be the star. She wanted to have a big part.
Ooh, Laura says, I think that she leaned into being a villain to deflect from her husband.
That's a good point.
That's interesting. What did you think about the video? I wasn't familiar when any of these scandals were happening, like prior to the show come out, when she was dancing in the hospital with her baby.
I didn't remember that being her or, like, connected to the MomTok, so when they brought that up, I was like, "You're kidding me," because I remember that video, but just
Yeah.
not it was such a big conversation that no one really connected the 2 of them, but, I mean, what was she thinking? I just there's no explanation in the world that could possibly take away the weirdness of that video.
I just like, at what point do you just she's like, "Well, I just like wanted to keep the mood,
It
I
was a
wanted to
fun
stay
day.
positive." And I'm like, that's not typically how you stay positive.
It was, like, so just such in poor taste. It wasn't like her and her husband were in the or her and her kids were in the room with the baby, and she was, like, trying to keep the kids, like, happy through this, like, hard time. That's a
Yeah.
different that would have
No,
been a great
she's
excuse for that.
doing
But
choreography.
yeah, she's trying to be like Charlie D'Amelio in the NICU, and I don't really think anyone was getting any good vibes from that.
No. What do you predict will come from season 2? Because we did have the bombshell with Dakota possibly, hooking up or talking to somebody
Yeah.
else. And then now there's all this speculation that Dakota and Taylor are together. And I think she told Us Weekly, like, we're not together, but we're not
Mhm.
together at the moment.
Once there were rumors going around that Taylor and Dakota were not together or, like, maybe not together, I was like, "Oh, this is season 2 right here." I could
Mm.
just see it already. So I'm sure that's gonna be, like, a really big point of what's going on with them right now, where they're at, and then other than that, I'm like, there's always some crazy situation. Maybe they'll be talking about how they're handling the reactions from the show for a little while, and I don't know what else could come from it. Like, they are crazy, but I love it.
I'm hoping that Hulu does continue this, like, arc of breaking the fourth wall, which I thought they were good
Mhm.
at with, like, the Kardashians. Like, the Kardashians are like, "We're in on the show," right? We see them talking
Yeah.
to the producers a lot more, we see the cameras a lot more, that I think at this point, like, we can't go back to, like, the 10-year ago model of, like, pretending that we're not filming a television show and we're
Yeah.
just living our lives. So I'm hoping we get more of that, especially since it is on Hulu. But I mean, they're giving the Kardashians a run for their money.
They kinda are right now. I mean, they're willing to actually spill, and I think with the Kardashians, they know what to say and not to say at this point, that they're not as, like, crazy as they were before on the show or as open and honest. They are, like, sometimes, but it's definitely, like, a little bit more PR, whereas, like, these girls are unhinged and everyone's living for it.
Fully unhinged, fully coming after each other. I think my mom texted me. I was like, "You need to watch this show." And she watched it and she texted me and she's like, the housewives are like passive aggressive to each other, but these girls are like aggressive, aggressive. Like they don't care about like dragging each other on the show. Like when there was that
Yes,
whole conversation when they were like, "Well, you called Taylor white trash," and Taylor's just kind of sitting there as they're like
she's like,
arguing about it.
"Well, wait a minute, like, what?" I love it.
They are savage and I love it. They're giving us everything we need.
They are.
Okay, well, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna talk about Julie Chrisley because we have an update on Julie. But first, I want to take a quick break to remind you guys to leave a review. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, drop a comment, be sure to subscribe. And while I have your attention, I know we were talking about GLP-1s and Kourtney Kardashian and this celebrity trend with Ozempic, which is the perfect time to let you know about one of my favorite brands, and that's Mochi, which is a telehealth platform that connects patients seeking medication-based weight loss treatments with board-certified doctors and dietitians to help them determine the best options to accomplish their weight loss goals. Their programs are completely virtual, meaning you have access to their services anywhere in the US and will be meeting with their team online. It's super easy, super convenient. Mochi Health takes a holistic approach to weight loss that includes visits with a board-certified doctor, nutrition consultations, and medication delivered directly to your door. It's science-backed medications, including GLP-1s like Ozempic. We know all the celebs are about the Ozempic right now. So if you have been curious, they have Ozempic, they have generic compounded versions. It's affordable, it's accessible. Regardless of your insurance coverage, they can help you. With Mochi, their dietitians work hand in hand with your medication to create personalized nutrition plans that fit your lifestyles. So reach your weight loss goals with science-backed, FDA-approved GLP medications. Get support from real doctors and guidance from registered dietitians. They also help make it easy and sustainable so that you achieve the results you're looking for. Get started today at joinmochi.com. That's joinmochi, MOCHI, joinmochi.com. And be sure to use code NOFILTER to receive $40 off. That's code NOFILTER at joinmochi.com. Okay, we have to get back to the tea because we have a lot of tea on Miss Julie Chrisley. So, Kristi, have you been keeping up with the Chrisleys?
I honestly have not. I feel like
Okay.
I'm so out of the loop on the Chrisleys. Like, I know the basics of what is going on and just a little bit of like the sob story we got on Special Forces when she was talking about her parents. But I need you to fill me in on this one.
Okay. I'm going to give you the briefing. But first, Wanda Lee says she's baffled that I got Spill Sesh as a guest. She loves you.
Oh my gosh, Wanda.
Hi, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. First of all, I'm shocked that you're baffled, but I'm glad that we have Kristi here to share with you.
Very happy.
Okay, so the Chrisleys are currently Todd and Julie Chrisley, and like you, I never watched Chrisley Knows Best. I knew of the show, but I never really started paying attention to them until this big legal mess started, where they were accused of tax evasion and accused of bank fraud. And basically lying to banks to take out these big loans, and they were borrowing money, and they weren't paying the money back, and then they tried to file for bankruptcy, and then the judge was like, "Hold up, wait a minute, are you really broke, or are you just taking out all this money and not wanting to pay it back? And on top of that, you're not paying taxes." So now Todd Chrisley and his wife Julie Chrisley have been sentenced to prison, and they've been trying to appeal their prison convictions. Julie has been she's been sentenced to 84 months in prison, so that's 7 years, 6.5 years. So she's been trying to fight it because she had a hearing, and they, brought her in her shackles, took her to court. And even, well, it's funny because that's how they were reporting. They're like, Julie Chrisley shows up in court in shackles. And she's also so unrecognizable because her hair is no longer blonde now.
Oh no, the poor thing.
I know. And so she was complaining because her daughter was saying that the prison, that she's at is so inhumane. They don't have AC, and she's getting hot in there because she gets hot flashes. And so they were saying she needs to be released early because there's no AC and it's hot,
Well,
right?
they're cooking up a story for this one.
And so they appeared before
She's the only woman in there getting hot flashes.
Right? A woman's prison, and she's the only one that needs early access.
Yes.
Get out. So they presented their case before the judge, and they had their family write letters about how they miss their mom and how, they don't know how they're surviving without her, and they need her released from prison. And so now the judge has ruled and has said, nope, we are resentencing you to your 84 months in prison. There's no changes. I'm sorry that there's no AC. Get a fan. And so now Savannah, her daughter, has come out and said that she thinks that the judge is being unfair towards her mom, and this is retaliation, and that they're basically using the Chrisleys as an example, that, their fame is what's hurting them more than it's helping them.
Interesting. Yeah. I saw her when she was on Special Forces, and she was talking about, I'm taking care of my siblings. And that's really, I'd heard about the story, but that's when I heard like her side of the story. And well, she stuck with those hot flashes.
Yeah. The judge is like, sorry, like there's nothing, listen, it sucks to be in prison, but like, that's what happens when you break the law.
It is. I mean, what do I guess they want a little special treatment, and they're like, we're getting the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, I think they thought that being on TV was going to help them in some way, but the judge
Yeah.
was like, "Sorry, like, listen, everybody has to deal with the lack of AC in prison, and some of these ladies have been in prison a lot longer than you have."
100%. I'm sure some of them probably dealing with way worse than some hot flashes that they're also trying to get off for.
Yeah, I mean, in 6, 7 years, I mean, that is a substantial amount of time, but it's also
Yeah.
like, listen, if you just do your time and keep your head down, you know, you'll get through it. Good
Yeah.
behavior, get some time like, there are all these
Mhm.
programs that you can utilize to get some time taken off your sentence. I mean,
Totally.
Todd's in there a lot longer. I think he's in there for, like, close to 12 years. So, he's gonna be dropping the
Hopefully
soap.
he's got some AC. Oh my goodness.
But, I mean, listen, I hope Julie finds a fan in prison. I'm wishing her
Yeah, head on down
all
to
the
the
best.
commissary and start loading up her
You know,
account with something
get a little
a little
right? Put some money on her books. Oh, Julie and Todd, everybody's favorite TV couple. They're
It's a
no
show. It's a
longer.
reality show even when they're locked up.
I know. I wish we had cameras in the courtroom though, because like
It would be
I wanna see Julie,
amazing.
or at least, we need to get some press out there. Like, I want to see Julie shackled up without her blonde highlights. Like, if that's how we're describing, if that's how the press is describing it, like, give me I need
Yeah,
visuals.
we gotta be
Oh
able
my
to see.
goodness. What
Keep the
other
cameras
shows are
rolling.
on right? What other shows are on your roster right now?
I just watched Nobody Wants This last night, and
Oh my
then
god.
Dancing with the
Obsessed.
Stars. Like, these
Yes.
are my Tell Me Lies, my rotating.
Yes. What
Yeah.
did you think of Nobody Wants This?
Well, Adam Brody looks identical to my ex, so it's, like, a little triggering to see him, even though I love the OC, okay? Just it's not my fault that this is how it played out, but I was watching it and I could not take myself out of it. I'm like, "Okay, well, we don't need to look so identical." Um, I was really impressed. I was not sure. Sometimes with the Netflix, I'm like, it's either
You
so good or I'm a little cringed out, and I could not get over their chemistry. It was unreal.
It is, and my heart was shattered because apparently when they're doing, like, this press tour, they have, like, no chemistry together in, like, their banter.
Oh,
So whatever's on the show is and they talk about, I guess, in their interviews how mechanical it was for them to, like, try to,
hmm,
make the chemistry believable, and I'm like, "Well, that's sad because now I want
interesting.
Adam Brody to break up Kristen Bell's marriage to Dax Shepard because I'm rooting for this." While also simultaneously, like, battling in my brain because I'm like, "Should I date a rabbi now?" But no, he's still a man, and we should not trust men, like, men are not trustworthy.
No, because he had that whole situation before he was with her that was, like, on the show, that
Yeah,
was a little messy.
the ex-wife, yep, or well, I
The
guess they weren't
ex-girlfriend,
technically they were
fiance
almost
situation.
yeah, almost a fiancé, but not fully a situation. Did you get to the end of it?
I did, I finished the whole thing.
Okay, so you know how it ends. Okay,
I
spoiler
know
alert,
how
we're
it
gonna tell you how
ends.
it ends. So it ends with her making the decision that she wants to convert to, be Jewish. She's gonna go through the whole conversion process, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing because now I get to be the head rabbi." Um, and the head rabbi at temple, and it's something that he's wanted his entire life, and then he's telling her all the things that she's going to have to do if she wants to make this conversion, and she's like, whoa, I think that's too much for me.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I can't have you walk away from being head rabbi because you've wanted to be head rabbi since you were a wee child. And so she leaves, and then I'm like, see, he wanted to make her convert. He was going to try to change who she is to be with him. Typical man. And then, and then at the end, he chooses her over being head rabbi.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was like, "Okay." I didn't know how it was really gonna end because I was like, the show was good. I was just like, "Are we gonna get the happy ending?" And I kept pausing and I was like, "This is the last one. Like,
I
wait,
know.
wait,
What's
wait."
how is it? I know. I was like, is she really going? I was like, there's no way she's gonna convert, but like, is he gonna give up? So
I
do you
know.
do you think he's going to really give up being like the story can either go, he's not going to be head rabbi and he's
Yeah.
just going to go, and completely abandon temple,
Yeah.
or they're going to like create this fusion where you can be head rabbi, but you can also date a Gentile that's not Jewish and like, modernize. Because we did see themes, right? They had like that one
Yeah.
woman who's like, before they didn't allow women to be rabbis, and now I'm a rabbi and I'm a woman. So they kind of like planted those seeds, like maybe they're going to try to evolve the church.
Totally. I think it was so interesting because although we saw that he was choosing her in the end, it is kind of like open-ended of like, okay, but like what does that mean? Like what happens? I'm like hoping it means that he's still going to do his thing and they're going to be happy, but maybe it's a situation where the longer that they're together, she learns more about the religion, which seemed to be what she was asking for of I just can't promise that I'm going to want to convert, but I just need more time to see. And maybe over time, she's, going to be going to temple more with him and she will want to do that.
Yeah.
But I think that the option really is like he kind of doesn't take that job right now. And who's to say he doesn't take it later?
When they break up. And he gets back with Rebecca.
Well, because it's like, hopefully he wouldn't be resentful either later on of like, I didn't get to do this dream. But Rebecca didn't even like him. She just liked the title.
Yes.
She wanted to be at the top with the head rabbi. That's all she wanted.
Yeah.
She didn't want him.
Can we talk about how diabolical she was in lying to the sister?
The sister.
She like played up that whole thing and fed her all these lies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, that.
But I wanted to see the sister with Sasha.
Oh, yes. Do you think
they had like a moment at the end and they were at the bar and they were talking and I was just like, there is something here. There is something here and I feel it. But then nothing really happened after, but I like where that was going, even though it was bad because he was like marrying me as a kid, but
yeah,
they were, I was like, how are they going to hint that at me and then give me nothing?
Right. Because like him and his wife are just not on the vibe.
No, they were not.
And he's like totally vibing with the sister. And
he is. I feel like they were fun. He felt like on her level, whereas I think his wife talked down to him.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Erin Foster, who's the writer and creator, she said that there's the possibility of a season 2. I mean, I'm surprised this show really took off. Like I
know. I don't know. I guess I feel like maybe it was the chemistry in the show and then just a lot of talk because I like even when you have like big stars and stuff these days, it doesn't always, it's like not always promised that it's going to be a hit. I think people want to see chemistry.
Was it a Netflix movie it was Reese Witherspoon and was it Ashton Kutcher?
Oh yeah.
That was so bad. Like when they were photographed together
they were just standing so far apart.
Awkward.
I mean, even in that movie, there was like the chemistry wasn't there. It was something weird about seeing them together. It just didn't seem right.
No, it was way off. I think
it's hard.
They're both out of that like rom-com.
Yeah.
They're in a new chapter of their careers that like, we're not and I also just don't believe their chemistry together.
No. I'm like, there was something about like maybe it's not that they're like too famous to be in like together, but there's something about I can't take Ashton Kutcher out of that and Reese Witherspoon. Like I know they're not together. So the movie's not working for me.
Not believable at all. The same way
I like them, just that
individually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as rom-com actors, sure, just not together. And I just also Reese, like her whole the genre that she tackles now of like was Little Fires Everywhere and
she's doing a lot of drama.
Like drama, and she's like really good at that character that she's playing now. Like she's playing like a mom that's also married and whatever, but like she is really good at playing that like real uptight mom. Was it Big Little Lies?
Big Little Lies. Loved it.
so, like, she's great in that role. That, like, again, I think she's, we're done seeing her in that, like, rom-com. My
The
life is a
bubbly, yeah. Ugh.
We're moving
But
on.
but also, like, seeing Kristen Bell play a podcaster, like, there was something about seeing this in Netflix that I'm like, "Look at them recognize that
Yeah.
this is, like, a real career." I was
Okay,
like,
so
they're mentioning "Call Her Daddy."
you're into that. Okay, I'm into it too because some people are like, "Do you think it's weird or annoying that, like, they're
Well, then
making podcasters the
I
character?"
know.
Like,
I think some people definitely found it weird, and I at first I was like, interesting angle, like, are they being, like, cheesy about, like, the culture right now and, like, trying to be relatable? But then I remembered, like, Kristen Bell's like, Dax Shepard has a podcast,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, well,
And, like, it's
you know,
realistic in
it's
the Call
real."
Her Daddy era. It's
Yeah.
realistic to think that, like, this is a real storyline that's playing out in 2024. I mean, the number of people that were DMing me and they're just like, "You are so Kristen Bell," and they're like, "You're a podcaster and your dating life is a disaster and you always pick terrible men," and I'm just like,
No.
I don't know if I feel seen or if I'm offended, but thank you.
Oh my goodness. But then she's also been on Dax's podcast, so I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not like she's totally faking this environment. Like, going on podcasts is a thing now,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. Um, but you are watching Dancing with the Stars right now.
Yes.
Are you sad that Anna Delvey is gone?
I think for the drama of it all, of, like, the conversations, and I really like her partner, Ezra, and it was his first year as a pro, so I'm really sad that he's like, his journey this season is done, but she was ready to go. It seemed she had had enough.
Yeah, only week 1, and she had already had enough.
Yeah, she was
She
over
was
it.
um, but I hear that there's some drama going on between Brooks and Gleb.
Everyone's
What
wondering
is the tea?
everyone is kind of wondering what's going on there because they're posting on TikTok, like, all the dancers right now are on social media. It's so crazy to see how Dancing with the Stars has kind of taken this shift to also playing out on TikTok, where they're doing the dances with their partners, promoting each other, like,
Yeah.
a new way for them to get these votes. But Brooks and Gleb have been making these TikToks that are a little sexy. There is some flirty, a little neck kissing, a little sit on the lap. And people are like, is this for the show or are you guys actually together? And now there's been like a picture was dropped last week where the two of them were seen like very close backstage, which is like no cameras are rolling. Someone like snapped the picture, leaked it on the internet. But then I'm like, okay, but like who leaked it? Is
Yeah.
this still playing into it? And then yesterday when they were or Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday when they were filming for the episode that's going to come out next week because the debate was this week, so it didn't happen. But there was like they were kissing in the parking lot, just like by their trailers. So I was like, all right, what's going on here? Are you guys together or not?
It's very like Mauricio last season with his partner. Remember they were like a
There's
photograph.
always like, yeah, there's like always someone that you're just like, what's going on here?
See, but, like, I feel like it's so hard. Like, it's like when you're filming a rom-com, right? And you're
Yeah,
with this person so much time, you're on set together, you're having to spend your free time together sometimes. You have this connection that, like, unless you have, like, really hard boundaries and, like, lines in the sand, like, it's natural that you let your emotions get the best of you. And I think when you're doing something like Dancing with the Stars, it is very intimate, right? You're dancing together, you're close together, you're holding like, you feel
totally.
physical chemistry.
Yeah. Like I already know I'd be folding. Like
1000%.
we're dancing, the dances get a little sexy sometimes. I'm like, and they're hot.
Dancing the cha-cha-cha. Like, I just like, I would totally I would hope that I would make it longer than Anna Delvey for the fact that
Honestly, I know I wouldn't. I'm not a dancer. It would be embarrassing for me to go on, but I would love it. I would love a like a trial.
well, being a good dancer is only half of it. You also have to make sure the audience is willing to vote for you.
I think
Anna
they would feel
Delvey
bad for me. I just I'm so impressed by the fact that they can even just remember the dances because I can't remember choreography at all. I can't even remember a TikTok dance. So
I know.
I'm already impressed that they can go out there and do that.
I know, because they have, what, 3 days to learn a dance?
Yeah, it's like barely any time at all. And then towards the end, they're learning multiple dances.
Yeah.
No.
That's why it's like, of course they're gonna fall for each other. They have 3 days, which means they're spending a lot of time together, doing the choreography, getting to know each other better. Then they're filming the show and then doing the press after the show that, like, it's, you know.
And I'm sure they're like constantly texting too of like, oh, I changed this to this and like, can you do this? And it'd be done for me.
Yeah. Who are you rooting for in Dancing with the Stars?
Um, I'm really impressed with Joey, Bachelor Joey.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just did not expect him to have the moves like that. And I love his partner Jenna.
Yeah.
Um, let's see who else. Chandler, the one that was in Pretty Little Liars. I
Mm,
love her. I thought it was a little random that she was on there, but
yeah.
then suddenly I'm like, oh, I think she could win.
Okay. Did
So,
you
and then Steven, of course,
Oh, yeah.
so adorable, him and Riley.
So cute.
It's
I'm
the best.
it is.
And the
I always
basketball player, I'm invested because the height difference.
Okay, who on the cast are you not invested in?
I know it's like everyone at this point. I think like the football player Danny,
Oh, yeah.
where there were like rumors that him and Sandra, who's like Alex Earl's old best friend, are like dating because she went with his parents to go watch on night one. And I'm like, yeah, even that's not drawing me in.
No. Oh,
No,
well, we still have a few weeks left because Dance with the Stars is just getting started,
it
but, I
is.
mean, what a week. All the drama.
It's been a week.
What's on your
Lots going on.
what's on your watch list this weekend? Anything you're catching up on?
I just needed to really watch that show last night and then Tell Me Lies. I'm just patiently waiting for Outer Banks.
Mm. I'm binging Monsters this weekend because there's, like, all this Ryan Murphy
Oh,
controversy, and I'm like,
yes.
I think I'm 2 or 3 episodes deep, and I'm like, I need to actually finish it. It's just so heavy that it's like, it's not an easy show to binge.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch Grotesquerie?
I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna watch it.
I'm not really into, like, those, like,
I
scary, like,
can't.
darker shows. I watched American Horror Story for the first time because Kim Kardashian was in it, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
I
I
did
love
watch
Kim
that.
Kardashian and Emma Roberts," but I'm like, "I don't know if I'm gonna watch this new one with, what's Travis Kelce."
Yeah, I can't. Gore is not we just don't go hand in hand, so I already know just from the fact that I could barely watch the trailer that this would give me nightmares, so I'm gonna sit this one out, but
Do you think
AHS with Kim was just funny enough for me to
Yeah,
be like, "That's not real."
yeah.
And it was, like,
I'm
kind
the
of
same.
it felt unserious that I could actually watch it, but some of the other AHS seasons, I'm like, "N no, thank you."
No, I think that's the only one that I've watched. Even they had, like, the, American Horror Stories, which is, like, they had, like,
Yeah.
every Halloween, they have, like, a 4-part series, which I watched last season because Lisa Rinna was in it. But even that one, I don't know if you saw that one. That one was a little creepy
Mm-mm.
too. They had, like, this creepy little lady that was, like, I don't know, it was crazy. I was like, "I
Scary.
don't like this. I don't like this show."
Mm-mm. That
Um,
stuff is not for me.
no, I don't have the heart. Like, I can't go to, like, Not Scary Farm or, like,
Oh, no, 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 no. Halloween Horror Nights.
Horror Nights. No. I don't
Mm-mm.
I no, my friend was like, "I just went the other day and, like, oh my god, some of the mazes, like, really scared me," and I'm like, "I don't need to go."
Yeah, no. All my friends are in Orlando right now going, and you guys have the best time.
I don't have the stomach for it.
No.
But so Spill Sesh, this is your brand. Pimp it out for everybody so that they can go and give you a follow, show you some love.
So Spill Sesh on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok, I'm posting multiple times a day, sometimes talking about all things pop culture, music, movies, TV on YouTube, posting every day, talking about some of the biggest stories happening on the internet. And that's where you can find me.
Yes. Kristi has all the tea. So if you are enjoying No Filter, she goes beyond just reality TV, though. She has all the hot headlines. What are your
You're
thoughts on?
talking about crumble cookies yesterday on my
Oh
YouTube
my
channel.
God. I love it. I don't think I've ever had a crumble cookie.
Really?
I know. Well,
You
because I
gotta
don't really,
try.
I'm like so LA. I don't really do gluten and dairy and,
Yeah, that cookie will take you out.
yeah. See, because
It's it's
I have
filling.
my adaptogens in the morning and my Biorade tincture drops, and I'm very holistic. I'm very,
Very Erewhon.
very Erewhon. I'm starting to like not be like entirely Erewhon because like it's a little too granola for me, and I'm like, okay, like I did it for a long time, and I'm like, okay, it's maybe sometimes we can use aluminum deodorant, not
Just
every
like
day,
a
but
little
like
bit.
on the important
On the
days,
important days.
I don't mind a little aluminum.
Oh my goodness, that's
Uh,
so funny.
But before you go, I do want your thoughts on Taylor and Travis because there are these rumors that like they're on the rocks which I was kind of
Oh.
predicting because we see him dancing in her tour. And now he's doing the Ryan Murphy series. Like
Yeah.
he's already starting to not give as much on the field that I feel like, Taylor's catapulted him into a new level of celebrity and like that leverage is going to help him move on.
I love them. I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, so I just really am hoping for the best here. I really do like them. I think that they're the real deal. I know not everyone wants to believe that, or they think that it's all PR, or that I don't know, he's using her or something. I do think that it really has like catapulted him into this new level of fame, but somehow like they always get seen together at some restaurant, or we're hearing that he sent her like thousands of roses or something. Like I really want it to be it for her, and I'm still holding on to that. I do know like he's so busy, she's so busy. She's about to go back on tour, so she's probably rehearsing. Maybe she's getting a little something like a little surprise ready for the Swifties or something. So she's just locked up trying to do the choreo for that. I don't know, but I'm keeping my hopes high that they're gonna stick it out and that there's no breakup coming because the holidays are around the corner.
We will see.
We will see.
If that
He just
leaks.
needs to go to a game and like shut down all the rumors because she's like missed 2 games and everyone's freaking out.
Which also, like, I think everyone's being a little dramatic about. Like,
Yeah, it
she's
was
not.
like there were a bunch of shows he didn't go to. He wasn't at
She cannot,
every single one.
yeah, she cannot be going to every single game. Like,
Yeah.
silly. Like it's unrealistic. But
Yeah.
I heard it was because she's like possibly like recording a new album, and I'm like, I don't think we need a
Mm.
new album just yet. Like
No,
her
we do
last
not.
album was
I
too
I
long.
love her. I love her so much. But we don't need a new album at all this year. Maybe like mid next year, maybe. But we gotta like let it ride out because it's also the thing of there. If she's in the press too much, then people get annoyed and then they get hateful, and we
Yeah,
don't need that.
yeah. Like I was just like the Tortured Poets, not her best album, and just way
Mm-mm.
too long. And then there were way
I
too many new
know.
versions that were coming out, and I'm like, take a break, be in love.
It was a bad time to be a Swiftie. I was like,
Just
no,
yeah,
no, no.
like let everyone root for your relationship and like make us want more music, but like oversaturating us with like the torture. It was like what, like 36 songs?
Yeah. Well, so it was 15 or 16 or something. It was like the short version, but then she came out with the longer version. So I think when she submits it to all the like the Grammys and whatnot, it's just going to be the short version. But because there's so many songs, it just feels so overwhelming. And then there's all these new versions. But every time she comes out with a new version, it's never the one with all like 30 of the songs. So whenever it's a new CD, it only has like one extra of like the other songs that she's added. And I'm like, okay, but where's the vinyl with the 30? Because I
Yeah.
had to buy the one with like the 15.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What a year to be a Swiftie.
It's always something with us.
Well, Kristi, thank you for coming on the show. Everyone needs to go and support and follow Spill Sesh all over on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok because he always got the tea. So
Thank you so much for having me.
Love. Thank you, Kristi. I appreciate you being on. We'll have to do this again soon.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to No Filter with Zack Peter. I will be back again tomorrow morning. Every weekday morning, we are here live streaming and making the show available on all podcast platforms. So if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to leave a review. I love validation. Give me all the validation. 5-star reviews across the board, because in my mind, all the TikTok gurus tell me that I'm worth it and I deserve it. I'm easy breezy beautiful cover girl, so give me all the validation. Give me a follow, Just Plain Zack, or follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack all over the internet, and stay tuned. We got a new episode of the Pop Report dropping on Friday as well, so be sure to catch that and binge Disaster Daters now on Spotify, also now available on YouTube. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I will talk to you later, skater. Bye.